Welcome, everybody, to the RGN Spring Classic. We've got a hell of a best of 3 tonight, as this is our upper bracket finals. We've got Tempo Gaming versus Paradox, and yeah, it should prove to be a good one. We're starting off here on Inferno, and again, the winner's going to move to the grand finals. The loser faces off against Lunatic in the lower bracket, but I am Sprawl by my side, the one and only Bach. What's going on, man? Are you excited for this or what?
I am excited. This is going to be a pretty good matchup. We've got two fairly decent teams here. Pretty well known, obviously, Paradox. And then, yeah, wait, up. Oh, hold on. We had a problem like this the other night, and...
Oh, he's back. He landed.
2 players. That was actually Silent and Justin, who both flagged out. That totally just ruined my flow. Either way, we do see Paradox trying to take the site here. Anomaly's going to get one, but they did get an entry frag. Mainline cleans him up, so it's going to make it a 4v3. Bomb's going to be planted. And you do see the pause coming in.
Kusa's frozen as well, actually.
Yeah, I think this is going to get returned to Pistol. They're probably going to re-elo 3. Because this is a weird situation.
Yeah, interesting. I think we saw this, or at least I saw it in a cast. It was a couple nights ago, and yeah, it was affecting. It actually affected. Now that I remember, it was on this map, and I think it was versus Husa, where wasn't it the 3 CTs? They're trying to retake B, and they all basically. They froze up on their way there. So, interesting. But yeah, I think you're correct in saying that we'll probably have a redo here, because I don't see why we wouldn't. Number of players lagging out there, and Silent saying, so we're playing this right. Yeah, two of the CTs froze, and it looks like it was the same situation for the Ts. So, honestly, pretty even, but that's why we would want to restart this. So you can see Ryu Kusta immediately timing out there. So
this is an interesting issue. We saw it pop up. I think me and John saw it pop up on another game. That would be Laser Jesus. I don't remember who it was. It might have been the game the other night that went into I think it was a Mirage, maybe a Lunatic game, or it was the one that went into quadruple overtime. I don't remember. I just remember very vividly multiple players. Like it turned it into like a one-on-none. Because, like, 4 players just, like, froze instantly. And they just hung there for a second. And then, after, like, 15 seconds, they just came back. No explanation.
Very bizarre stuff. So, guys, what we're going to do is, we're going to get an admin in here to get this sorted out. But, what we'll do is, looks like Ryu's joining back in. Yeah, so they are replaying the pistol and such. So, we're going to have these guys reset everything. Looks like Spangler's in the mix, getting things figured out. So they'll probably just reset the server, bring things back to square one, and we'll redo that. So, guys, we're going to take a short break. When we return, just pretend like it was the first time hearing our voices, as we are going to be redoing the pistol around here. So stick with us, guys. Exactly.
Rewind.
We'll be back in just a couple.
Living life for the next drop. Big boy nurse, I'm gonna
All right, guys, we are back. Pistol Round is now live once again. It is Tempo Gaming versus Paradox. I mean, there was nothing that you guys missed at all. Yes, nothing at all. No, we are going to be back in the Pistol Round here. We did have a little bit of lag issues. Our understanding is it's actually a Valve issue since the last update, not a client-side issue. So hopefully they can get that hot fixed next couple days here. But anyhow, we are live Tempo on the Pistol Round. And look at the equipment here. No kit and a single smoke.
Yeah, this is more of the matchmaking by ZNF. Still hasn't bought anything yet, other than that 5.7. Kind of surprising not to see a grenade out there or a kit.
He had the
Looks like it's on a misbuy. Ooh, a nice tap there from Anomaly. Opening things up. They push on to B. It's a 3-man stack. Ryu isn't going to get anybody, though. Mainline takes him down, and here comes the push from Tempo.
Anomaly's going to be playing inside of the smoke. He's actually getting a couple bullets through into the bodies of the T's, but they will take him to the front of sight. Anomaly wrapping around. They need to deal with Uber at New Box. They're able to do so after only one frag coming in for 2v3 here. As it's going to be Kusta and ZNF. ZNF coming in from Banana and actually has an opportunity to take down the Lit Silent. And he does so, but it's a 1v2 as he's breaking into sight.
He does have the 5.7 pistol in hand. Bomb is planted, though. No kit in hand. He's got kind of a split hold here. The crossfire setup, and it's just a matter of time before he gets peeked by this man from Garden, and he is just stuck in a really terrible position. Excellent positioning there from Paradox. And a bit of a mistake as Anomaly came up. He had Silent dead to rights. He was facing towards sight, watching towards Banana. If he had pushed up on stairs, he would have had a free kill. There's a man that crossed towards New Box, another free kill. No one was peeking Garden. As soon as he decided to make that push up, Silent had turned around. The man Garden had, or New Box had sort of turned around as well. And there was no way he was coming away with anything. So Tempo, they had a 3-man hold, but just not what they needed to do that. Maybe a 4-man hold would have worked in their favor.
Speaking of 4-man hold, we got a stack here. CT's on the B-bomb site. They've left Anomaly all alone at A. He's got a smoke in hand, and I imagine, yeah, he's going to be dropping that in middle. So just going to leave that there. Hopefully they don't push through it and maybe gives them the thought that it's actually an A stack, and they're going to come over to B. But at the moment, the T's playing very carefully, and this is exactly what you need to do on your anti-eco. It's just slow and methodical play. I honestly really like Molotovs on the anti-ecos because you can clear out a lot of those stack locations, but they're going to be taken to top mid. This is actually the correct read from Paradox.
Yeah, there's only one man in sight. That's Anomaly. USP, no kit, a very light buy from the CTs of 5.7 and 2 P250s. The other players sticking with that vanilla pistol, the USP. Anomaly is just in a really bad position here. It's just a matter of time before they peek for Moto, and there it is.
Rip.
The tap dancing of that SMG We talk about it enough. The SMGs right now, it's just a new part of the game. I actually played a game earlier myself. A guy used an SMG the entire game and somehow managed a positive score. I just don't understand how that's possible.
Yeah, honestly, if you're used to, say, for example, like always using an M4, and you're used to those headshots not like just straight up killing someone, if you're used to an AK, the SMG feels a little bit weird, but with the M4, obviously, still, you're not getting those one-hit headshots. If you can hit heads with SMGs, they're actually pretty darn powerful. The thing is, their bullet spread can be a little bit different than the standard rifles. So, still a bit of a learning process, I feel, for some players, as now it's a little bit more viable to jump into a server and practice the SMG kind of bullet spread, whereas previous to it, maybe not so much.
Yeah, and the recoil patterns are a little bit easy. I mean, you basically just pull down, and the
Yeah,
recoil
more or
stays
less.
in check. And you know, when I've seen people do it, they just get super aggressive with the SMG. They just run everywhere.
Just run
There's
forward.
no like holding
W.
corners or like getting a good position. It's just like just run at them, catch them off guard. I saw it on Mirage. The guy rushed ramp like every single round with an SMG, and he didn't
Nice.
do that bad.
Yeah, I particularly like the UMP. It's the closest in my eyes to having like a rifle. The rest, I understand the run and gun, but Justin utilizing that UMP here, it does feel, at least in my eyes, one of the guns where it doesn't necessarily, still works to run and gun, but maybe not the most. But here we go. We got banana control right now for the T's. CTs once again pretty ill-equipped. This is one of their eco rounds. They're not forcing up in any regards. They've got a couple flashbangs. A couple nades here and there, but Anomaly gets dropped early on. And again, the T's just working very, very slow.
Yeah, they're taking their time. They're not trying to run into anything. It is a 4-man stack on B, and if this player over towards B peeks and finds this out, it's gonna be Strebber. He has that MAC-10 in hand. He's making some noise, but I think his teammates have already figured out that this A bomb site is completely empty. And if you're Tempo at this point, do you save these pistols again? I can't see a situation where that makes sense. You gotta try and do some damage. Go cost them some money and take some guns out of their hands. Obviously, the counter to that is these SMGs generate so much money that if they run in and die, it's like free cash for the T side.
Yeah, interesting how that dynamic works, and it's not something that, again, has been around that long. There was still times where you'd see SMGs. Wow, the CT is actually doing a good amount of damage. Ellie left as one of the players with a single HP. Justin's just going to be still trying to fight, actually, pushing into CT spawn. Ellie's ran all the way back to T apartments. Don't blame him for that. ZNF goes down. Ryu still has a MAC-10 in hand. If you can take down another one, so much money. So much money. So $600 to him. Not too shabby at all as the CTs. They actually clean up really nicely there.
Yeah, not bad. They got a couple kills. And, you know, the money damage wasn't really that much that important. They needed to die or they needed to generate money with kills, and that's what they did. Helped bolster their economy for their first buy round because they are a little bit light. They have 3 players sitting on just body armor, no head armor, and only 2 kits. Kind of like grenades as well. Anomaly only stuck with 2 flashbangs, and you know this is a map where the nade play is heavily important on your CP side.
Yeah, and I think that Anomaly already used his smoke on bottom banana, because there's 4 smokes still on the field, and bottom banana is smoked. He's the only player without. So I'm guessing that he did utilize it in that way. And right now, it's not really the standard way you see the CTs holding banana if they get that bottom of smoke in banana. So interesting that they're playing pretty passive, as now the control completely to the T's, and they will resmoke at some point, I imagine. But ZNF he's keeping his feet planted at the moment at sandbags. He's gonna try to escape, and that's actually going to be his demise as they pick up a frag near that B bomb site. So a little bit of an opening here for the T's.
Yeah, and that smoke, I mean, he kind of bought himself time there. I don't know what the thinking was. He dropped that smoke on the molly that bounced around towards sandbags. He had time to wait it out because there was another smoke that came in right in front of car. Would have given him a little bit of a vision block, more ability to hide. Still, though, right now, Tempo is looking pretty good. They have the nade advantage ever so slightly. They still have a smoke on Ryu. They could use that to smoke off Banana if he gets into position. He's actually going to toss it onto Arch side. But it is a 4-on-4, and a lot of damage dealt towards Paradox right now. That is going to be Ryu picking up a kill. There's Kusta with the barbecue frag onto Strebber, and now it's on Justin in mainline to try and make this happen.
And the fire finally dissipates, but it's going to mean mainline moves right into Kusta's fire. Or, I mean bullets by that, as, like I said, the incendiary was gone. Uber finishes the round, so they keep 4 alive. Tempo, that was definitely what they were hoping for in their first rifle round. Not too many losses, and quite honestly, they didn't show a lot of cards. they basically worked pretty darn default other than that bottom banana smoke, but they didn't even necessarily play right behind it. So a little bit of interesting play coming out from Tempo. And like I said, no tricks up their sleeve currently been utilized. So they still have some stuff in their strategy book here, as Silent actually moves past the smoke. So some aggressive play coming out from the T's early.
And, you know, their last round was all about clock control for the CTs. They controlled the time on the round, and as a result, Paradox didn't really do much. Ooh, Uber's gonna catch some spam through the smoke. Compliments of Silence AK-47. But ZNF does respond with a nice nade, dropping it right on that tree, so Arbor Day be damned. He's gonna get some damage on that player and that tree. It's gonna make it a 5-on-4 right now. Still not that much of an advantage towards Tempo. They are a little light on grenades right now. They only have 2 smoke grenades left. Well, a couple you do have Uber, who's sitting on body armor, and he is lit over on B. So if they can make this execution on B work in their favor, it would be a more than manageable hold.
Uber's gonna drop his last smoke grenade. This is gonna basically force Paradox to either wait and group up at Banana and basically hit with very little time left, or they basically just have to go for A. And looks like they are going to opt for the other bomb site. They leave one single player here, but Ellie's going to open up onto Kusta, so the rotate coming in, and Ellie's actually leading the charge, which, I don't know if I like this, as he's down to 20 HP, so could definitely be dealt with handily, but wrapping the bomb site, you've got 18 seconds to get the bomb set.
And, you know, this is what we talked about. Clock control from the CT side. They got to try and lock these CTs out as long as possible. They're not going to be able to do it as Strebber does take off the head of Ryu, who was towards the site. Ellie, with that low health point count, sitting in library, actually gets a kill on ZNF. Uber's going to beat them. Doesn't matter. Ellie picking up 2 kills with that low HP. And that's Paradox picking up a round they needed, because if they lost that round, they would have been on Eco. Instead, it's going to put the CTs on Eco, and it's going to give them that advantage to set that differential right now much higher. I mean, 4 rounds on the T side is not it's not amazing if you're looking at 11-4, but we're in the 6th round here. They've already 4 rounds. This is looking like it could be a 9-6 in favor of the T side of Paradox.
A great start for Paradox here, as this is their map choice, hence starting on the T side. So see what Tempo plans here. They've got Anomaly with a Deagle in hand. He's trying to land a shot down middle, but receives a little bit of damage himself. I'm honestly a little bit surprised he didn't just straight up die. Maybe that player in mid whiffing just a little bit, but so is he. So no Deagle kills coming out. They are opting to stack this A bomb site. So switching things up from their last, the 2 eco rounds after Pistol, they were stacking the B bomb site exclusively. Only Anomaly on A. Now it's kind of swapped where they only have Uber playing B, the rest of the CTs on A.
I think they're trying to trick him out here. Ellie is going for some informational peeks, the bomb right behind. If they can take this bomb out, they get a couple of rifles for their trouble, but you can see they're very hesitant to peek in mid right now. An Anomaly with this Deagle, it's something that I've talked about before. If you're going to buy the Deagle, I kind of feel like you need to buy the armor, just because once you get aim punch with that Deagle, there is no way you're hitting a shot. Ryu is going to hit one, though, and that's going to be Ellie going down. Justin responds with a kill onto Ryu. It's going to make it a 4 versus 4 right now, and you can see they're already falling back. They know the stack is on. There's only one man over in B, and that's Uber. Oh, but Uber doesn't go for the AK. He had an AK directly in front of him, and he opts to let it go so he can get back into construction and wait for his team. Very careful play, but potentially could punish him, as they're not going to have that rifle for the retake.
Kusta and ZNF, though, they have AKs of their own. We'll see if this works out. Uber goes down, but Kusta trades onto Justin. So only main line. This is looking pretty nice for the CTs, other than the fact that they don't have a kit. So time is ticking. But they got someone on the bomb right now. ZNF taps it at the very least. He's actually trying to get on it once again. Kusta finds main line. So they will receive the defuse if ZNF can actually get it here. As,
Nope.
Are you joking me?
They don't have it.
Are you joking me right now? I can't believe that just happened. He just tried to jump on the grill
Oh,
11 times in the smoke. Oh god. What did I just witness? That was nightmare status right there. That's a moment that you do not want to look back to ever. Ever. As they put a smoke onto the bomb, as they wanted to play that 1v2 in a way that, you know, you force some pressure to the T once the bomb is covered by a smoke. But it was planted on grill, and they tapped it. ZNF would try to get onto that grill, and actually, he would find it mid-air and tap it, but then as soon as he fell back to the ground, it would get off it. and he did that, I think, 3 or 4 times before eventually, without a kit, they ran out of time. So very unfortunate, and I really hope Tempo don't take it to heart like I'm taking it personally right now, because I'm a little sad about that. But they need to look past it now.
You know, you look at it what it was. Still a really good eco. Should have been their win, but still a really good eco. You know, they got the entire team of Paradox. They had 2 rifles. If they could have saved them, it would have been even better. But you can see the money side, not really that big of a deal. They do have an AWP on Kusta. Uber's still sitting light with the FAMAS buy. He seems like he's really struggling with his money. And I'm looking at the score. He's actually not doing too shabby kill-wise. He just can't seem to get his money stable. And really, that's because they won that 1 round and then lost immediately. So the best thing that can happen for Tempo right now is they need to chain at least 2 rounds together at this point to try and build some money up, because the other side, they've got more than enough money stacked up.
And here comes the mid-take anomaly, though. Boosted up, finds 3 with the help of Ryu as well. He's going to have a single T right underneath him. And he actually finds him. Ellie comes out from underneath. So a 2v3 as they're trying to take into the bomb site. The biggest issue now is that the bomb is down at Arches. So ZNF's going to keep a careful eye on it, but they smoke off. Very clean play from Ellie, but pushes the smoke to ZNF, and Ellie clearly was not prepared. Kusta with the final op frag. Tempo, luckily for them, again, that last round was a little bit rough for them. They come back and win that one. That's great for their morale.
Yeah, and all puns aside, Tempo really needs to control the tempo of the game. It sounds silly to say it out loud, and we always make goofy puns, but I'm being serious when I say they need to control the clock, and that's all that Inferno is about. Inferno is a chess match. You see the teams advancing up B, you drop that smoke, they have to fall back and make a play towards A. They start making the play towards A, you get that crossfire in mid, pick one off, they all of a sudden question it, they go back to B. And you can see it right there. By the time they made their way onto the A bomb site, those last kills came in with like 5 seconds left. There wasn't even enough time to really plant the bomb. That's the way that Inferno is played. And right now, it's pushed Paradox into an eco. They're already down 2 players, Mainline and Strebber, gunned down by ZNF and Uber. That's Kusta using his op to take down Ellie as well. So it looks like Tempo Gaming is ready to claw their way back into us and take a 3rd round.
Silent trying to work the deagle here at Arches, but Kusta puts him down. Only Justin left alive, and he's been sitting in the same spot all round, hoping for a CT to either push down mid or banana, and he should have a pretty good jump on them, but with a Glock grinder in hand, he's going to need to hit some heads. So 40 seconds left, he's just going to play it pretty patient, and I can't blame him for it. If you look at the monetary situation, if he literally just takes 1 gun away, that's fantastic for them. So, and considering the fact that they don't have a single frag as of yet, he wants to have a good chance at doing so. But Tempo will bring in their 3rd round, which is obviously great for them. CT-sided map. They want to have a strong start here on the first map of this best of 3. Obviously, so does Paradox, but Justin looks like he's finally awoken from his slumber. He's going to peek out towards Banana with 10 seconds left. And again, with a Glock in hand, he really just wants to find a frag here. They're actually going to try and peek away from him, which I find pretty funny as if they stay... Yeah, he's actually going to hunt for him. They're going to kill him right after the time. And that's exactly what they did. I'm really surprised that Justin allowed them to do so. Right?
I kind of wonder what he was thinking there. He sat behind that barrel, that planter on stairs for so long. They actually said AFK. It could very well be possible, because as soon as he decided to make a move, he just tossed the bomb over the barrel and ran towards Banana. So a little confusing play. I mean, he really should have just maybe made a push towards Banana with like 30 seconds left and tried to get something to happen. But because they didn't get that bomb plant and they didn't really get any kills, it's going to be another eco here for Paradox. And quickly, ZNF dispatching Mainline and Trevor. Compliments of the AK. They're going to try and push through the smoke. He's got to be careful. That's Uber up close. And all of a sudden, 5-on-2, and there's only 1 minute and 15 seconds left. And I say only, I mean, it's early in the round. My brain just trying to process what's happening right now.
Right.
Uber gets 1 more. It's all down to Silent now with a P250 in hand. He's going to try and get some kind of damage done, but it's not going to happen. A very quick round there for Tempo, and they're right back in this all of a sudden. You know, if they can win out and make it 10-5, that's the kind of half we expect to see on Inferno.
I think in that last round, Paradox was actually trying something a little bit tricky where they had multiple smokes on their players, and it's very common for, especially knowing that you're against an eco round, very common eco strat, just rush up Banana, try and take B. So they dropped 2 incendiaries, and a great way to stop any kind of rush on Banana is layering 2 different incendiaries down, and it's just way too long to run. You might be able to run through 1 with armor, 2, it's not going to work out for you. So once again, actually, they do that same incendiary play here. But there was actually a smoke that they dropped to try and counter it so they can rush through it still. But you saw 2 players went down as they tried, and there was a second one that they weren't able to run through. So I like the idea behind the whole drop the smoke and rush through nonetheless, but it didn't work out for them. Now they are on a rifle round. They're just taking control of the map more or less. They're finally bringing themselves up Banana. That's going to be Justin leading that charge as the smoke dissipates. Mid control to the T's as well, and pretty passive look here on the CTs at A.
You know, one of the things that I picked up as a caster is how important the Molotovs and incendiary grenades are, and I've started using them personally when I play, and I cannot tell you, I will never go back to buying double flash. I buy those mollies and incendiaries whenever I can. They are so useful, and I love to see how the teams try to use them. They aren't going to put any in a good position here for this take. They do drop one from the CT side right towards Porch, so that's going to force the T's in a really awkward situation where they have to kind of funnel around the edge. They're going to drop right in. Goose is off. Goose gets 1, but gets done down immediately. Ryan's going to pick up 2, actually, but that is the round going for Tempo. A lot of kills coming in very quick succession there. They kind of just walked into the blender, but somehow they made it out with a few frags.
Yeah, they were able to take down that the player up on balcony, as Anomaly didn't shift its position after finding that first frag. So they're able to line him up, and then another one in the process. But nice play from Ryu. Plays at that spammable box, kind of crouches right next to it. He basically just lined them up as they came up. I was surprised he didn't get all 3, but with the FAMAS, 2, you'll be happy with that, as they stuff that round. Now a Tech 9 armor buy. This is pretty Paradox-like, if you ask me.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot from them.
Especially this team, yeah. They really like this strategy.
We've seen them do it quite a bit on Mirage. Not so much on Inferno, but oh my god, the nade damage. Oof. 2 players going down to the barbecue. Anomaly's going to pick up 1 with the nade. Mainline does make it into Arch. Finds an op as well. He's going to pick up another kill. And that is one he didn't deserve. And look at this. He's actually going to get a free pass into B if he makes it there fast enough. He's going to be able to get that bomb down. And if he catches this one-man rotating up Banana right now, that's going to be Uber. If he gets in good position, he's going to be in a 1v2. And he knows that smoke just came in, so if he plays this right, this could very well be a round for Paradox here.
Gets the bomb set. I think he spotted Uber as well. He's going to try and take this 1v1, and I really don't blame him, as he can imagine that that's someone that followed him into the site, and the other CTs aren't in position. So he wants to try and take those 1v1s, if at all possible. Uber just jumping at this first set of oranges, realizes not a favorable fight. He's going to wait for his teammates. He gets dropped, though, as now Ryu comes up to front side. He's got Anomaly inside of construction, but Mainline lines him up. Can he find the third as well? It's going to be Anomaly trying to test him behind this pillar. And it is going to go to Anomaly. He's going to have barely enough time to pull off this defuse, but it will be a CT round. Tempo Gaming, 1v3, almost makes it work, but Anomaly will shut down his fun.
Still, though, an expensive round there for Tempo. They lost a lot of money. Luckily, they recovered that off. Excellent play by Anomaly, too. As soon as he got that kill, he was on top of the bomb, looked down immediately, and started defusing. If he did not do that, that round would have been Paradox's. And that would have been one that really Tempo couldn't afford to give up with Paradox already on 5 rounds. They don't want to give them any more.
And now, going to see Paradox just grouping up at the top of T stairs. Another deep Banana smoke comes in from the CT side, and they burn some incendiaries down Banana once again. This is going to allow them to, if they re-smoke down Banana, they can actually play, and I've seen it do it once or twice here, where they will cheat one player off of the B-bomb site towards A, and it provides just much better defense there, and as long as you keep Banana smoked, especially in the way it's being done now, you should be pretty safe. But obviously, you're never 100% safe in Counter-Strike, but it's a risk they're willing to take, and that's exactly what they're doing now, as we see the number 5 player rotating out, another smoke gets dropped.
This game is very reminiscent of a game I casted the other day. It was Win Out, or not Win Out, it was mostly Harmless and Wusa playing on Inferno. That one went to quadruple overtime, but the big story of that game was Nitro, who is an AWPer. He couldn't really get the AWP early on, and because of that, he had trouble generating anything for his team, and it happened again on their matchup the other night. Now they have Kusta, who's finally gotten a chance to hold the op for multiple rounds, and he's going to start picking up steam, and it's going to make things very difficult for Paradox. They are going to be able to get onto this B bomb site right now, as they do get an entrance back onto Uber. ZNF was there to take down Silent, but as you can see, this man pushing up on schools already. ZNF gets one that stops the plant. Now it's on mainline yet again. The man forced to clutch in a 1 versus 3, and he's going to get taken down by Kusta. But to finish what I was saying with the op, you know, when you have a player who's a dominant force with the AWP, and he can't get it, it changes the way your team plays. So now that Tempo has built up all this money, this bank, this economy, he's going to be able to hold that op for at least a few rounds and change the way that Paradox is going to play, because they don't really have an op on their lineup. At least not from what we're seeing right now.
Exactly, yeah. Different look for them currently as 5 AKs on the field. They're rushing up mid very quickly here, so a change of pace as flashes are going to be ringing out here, and Kusta's going to fall off, and I like that idea from him. He falls back into the safety of Anomaly. Anomaly takes down one. Kusta follows it up as they've got a really nice tag team here. Now even a player at Arches. Is that enough to not chime in for a frag, unfortunately, but they've done enough damage that this should be more or less easy to deal with. They've got Justin down to 23, Silent with 2 points of HP at Arches.
And the big player right now is going to be, I think that's Justin, who found his way into apartments. If he can just get a kill on one of these players, at least it makes it not too terrible of a round here for Paradox to do some more economic damage. But they're on full loss bonus at this point, so obviously throwing guns away is not their biggest concern, but they need to get some rounds. They want to have a better half. They started out so good, but Tempo Gaming has really just turned it on. He's going to go for the peek on Kusta. Ryu's actually going to be there for a trade. A great hold from Tempo. And, you know, that was that fast play, and I knew exactly what they were trying to do. They basically read my mind when I was speaking about Kusta and his op. They know that the worst thing you can do to an op is just bombard him with multiple bodies. They tried to rush the op. Luckily, Anomaly was there for the counter hold, and a player was already in Arches. So, great counterplay from Tempo to shut that down from Paradox.
Exactly, and now it looks like mainline just got shanked as they leave spawn, as he's already on 78 HP, but it's actually going to be Kusta pushed up very aggressively right now. I think they spotted him out, so he's going to pull back slightly, but it looks like the pressure's coming for Bananas. They're just trying to push this smoke. They're going to attempt to bully their way through, and it works out, and like the round they choose to do it on, where they got some Tech 9s, they got those mobile run and gun when I try and bust through, and yeah, they're at least going to get a bomb plan out of it, but they even have man advantage coming into this retake.
But look at Silent on the flank. He's going to be a big player right now for the teams if he can get into good position. Ryu thought he was there, but he didn't wait long enough. Doesn't really seem like it's going to matter. It's already down to a 2 versus 4, but you can see he's getting into good position to take down Kusta from behind. He executes him. He's going to go for the peek on Ryu as well. Ryu gets the kill. He's going to make it a 1 versus 3. He's going to save that up more than likely, and Justin says no, he's not. Paradox finally picking up another round here, and that's going to put them in a good position here for the final round, but the money on both sides definitely more than balanced, so they're going to be able to get a full buy. But again, the story of this game is going to be this op presence. Is how is Paradox going to counter the op of Kusta? Are they going to put an op on Silent? We've seen him pick it up in the past. We saw Mainline in that 1 versus 3 almost pull it off. Is he going to pick up that op, or are they continuing to give it 5 AK look and not really worry about this op from Kusta?
We'll see how they decide to play. Once again, Kusta being allowed to play pretty aggressive in mid-main line, actually hits him in the leg as he goes down to 72 and has to fall back. But the CT players, pretty aggressive right now. Anomaly's going to get boosted up. Actually, they have to fall off. Ryu was attempting to boost him up, but they don't want to risk getting caught in the process, so they're going to fall off for that move, and he's slowly moving up Banana. They've got Smoke about halfway up due to the CTs defending. Uber and ZNF playing at sandbags here, but it does look like, once again, they're wanting to go for a B take, and I don't blame them after how well that last round went. I think that they're going to try and just replicate what happened there, and here they go. Flash is over. They actually only have a single player to deal with right now, but quickly rotating in, ZNF realizes that his presence might be needed.
Yeah, he's going to get all the way up towards CT cross. He's kind of playing back towards construction, though. He's waiting for the execution to be on. There's the smoke that's going to give him the tip that this could very well be a B execution. I think he's just going to sit in the smoke, go for some spam, and fall back, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Uber in sight. He's going to be the big man for his team. He's going to try and peek, maybe take down this bomb if he can. No, he is not giving them anything. In fact, he is completely smoked off. What I'd love to see him do here is drop a flash and go for that ninja smoke. Beefy on it. He's just going to stick it. Oh. Silent knew too well where the bomb was, so it is going to make it a 2 versus 3 right now. Paradox trying to make it an 8-7 half.
I'm surprised Uber went for that, but Anomaly will find Strebber, so it's a 2-on-2. If they find Justin together, oh, what a crossfire play. Silent and Justin, they were both hunting Justin down, but Silent peeks out from sight, and they win the round. So Paradox, they technically lose the half, but 7 rounds on T side, that's not a loss in my books. I think they did pretty darn good, but once again, guys, this game is brought to you guys by Zowie Gear. If you guys need some more new peripherals, check out ZowieGear.com, as they honestly have some of the finest gear that you can use for gaming. So definitely check them out. Again, ZowieGear.com, and we actually have a Twitter giveaway going on, which is in cooperation with one of the players in this match right now. So it's Silent, who is hooking us up with a knife giveaway. It's on Twitter. So all you need to do for that one, and the specific knife itself is a bayonet, minimal wear bayonet from Boreal Forest. So to get in on that, and it is given away tonight. That's happening tonight. Go on Twitter, follow Silent CSGO, as well as Go RGN TV, and retweet that specific tweet that mentions that knife giveaway, and you found yourself entered in. So therefore, everybody, go check that out. Again, shout out to Silent for hooking us up with the giveaway. The generous man he is. So definitely, again, check that out as we're going live into our second half here in just a moment. Second pistol round, and I know before the game, me and you were talking, Bach, in terms of the map pool and how we saw this going out and such, and you were thinking, and we were both thinking, if this goes Tempo's way, this first map, Tempo could definitely grab this, but Paradox a little bit the favorite if they grab this map. Is that still what you're thinking after seeing a half a play?
You know, if the way I see it happening right now is if Paradox win this map, I think it's gonna be 2-0. I think that if Tempo wins this map, it's gonna be 2-1 in favor of Tempo. I think that they could pull what I would consider an upset. A lot of people have them pinned as underdogs. If you look at the odds, obviously Paradox is the heavy favorites. They are playing in the ESL ESEA Pro League right now, so a lot of people have them basically the absolute favorites. There's no way Tempo can take this. I don't really think that's too crazy to say that Tempo could take it, but I think they need to start things off with a big win on Inferno and get their team's morale in the right spot. And that's going to put a lot on this pistol round right here. They need to take this pistol round, put themselves up with a good lead over Paradox so that they can really spend time working the defense of the CT side, figuring out what they're doing so that if Paradox does take a few rounds, they've already figured out their holds, and then they can start tacking them on.
That's a beautiful read, if I do say so myself, but pistol round is live, and it looks like the T's are moving up to banana right now, and this is a little bit worrisome for the CT side as it's only Strebel holding in sight, and they're actually going to spot him out, take him down to 75, but they don't push in just yet, and the first smoke that came down was actually one from the arch side of mid, so I always love when we see that kind of play. But here we go. The T's will be smoking way deep into CT spawn. Interesting, as they smoke front of sight as well. Here we go, a well-thought-out strategy coming in for Tempo as they're getting the bomb down in front of sight. Kusta's already in construction. They've got ZNF pushed up near CT.
This is a very interesting strategy. They've got multiple players here pushed into construction. It's going to pin Ellie down in Garden, but he's going to get the one kill. Justin is there with another. Mainline's going to peek, try to get that duel on Uber, and oh man, this is all falling apart here. That's actually going to be a team kill coming in. Anomaly gunning down one. Oh, bomb gets defused. He does get a nice little 4K. I guess if you count killing your teammate, it's a 4K. Paradox takes a very strange pistol round, one that really should have been Tempo's. They had a great set for that. They just couldn't make it happen, and I think part of that was just post-plant positioning was not there. I mean, they had that player in Garden, I think it was Ellie, and they had a guy in construction. You would think his instinct would be to wrap behind schools through Garden. He just never did. He kind of just hung there waiting for the push on truck. Kind of a misplay. As a result, Tempo loses the pistol, puts it at a tie score, and now they need to make something happen or Paradox can really start piling on rounds.
Yeah, exactly. Paradox now in the driver's seat, but more on that strategy. Yeah, I like the way it initially plays out, but I agree with you in that post-plant, the fact that it was 5-on-5 and they weren't kind of trying to find the advantage in a frag after the fact, it definitely ended up working against them. So maybe a little bit of a rethought on the way that goes, but that could definitely be a powerful pistol round as they were at least able to get into decent spots. But nonetheless, round 17 underway. Got a number of SMGs on the field, and it looks like Tempo, they're not willing to go for a Tech 9 play or anything. I don't blame them. They got that bomb plant in the first round. This is something Laser and yourself speak about quite often, that you like seeing this kind of standardized. You just save in this round, you're going to buy up those AKs around it.
Yeah, they did get the bomb plant, so obviously they're going for that third round buy, and depending on how this plays out, if they don't get that many kills with these SMGs, the next round could be a very light round for the CT side. They do put a bit of money into these submachine guns, and not coming up with kills is going to be huge. It's actually looking pretty good right now for Tempo as they push their way through arches. There's only one man to defend, and that's going to be Strebber. He does have that MP9, and he gets two, pulls out the USP, he gets the third, and that is a situation that should not have worked out for their favor, because the way that they were storming that, if they got that bomb down, they'd be sitting so good with money. They still are going to buy here, but they would be in a much better financial state if they had gotten that extra $800, assuming they lost the round with the bomb plant.
And Paradox, they picked that up, and I've always, one of the things that I've seen time and time again from the Paradox lineup is if any of the teammates are kind of letting it slide slightly, Strebber, at least in my eyes, is one of the ones that picks up the slack, and we see it there again. A beautiful 3K where they could have got a bomb plant so much more if he doesn't stuff that all by himself. Just some good play, but ZNF, he's going to find Silent early. Mainline fires back, but you can see an MP7. Not when you want to combat against these AKs. And now they're down a man, and the bomb's still back in mid, but a lot of control to Tempo simply because, obviously, with the man advantage, and now complete gear advantage as well.
Yeah, you know, touching upon Strebber and Justin seem to be the players for Paradox, that when you have a clutch situation, those are the guys you want with the gun in the hand, because they might not necessarily be the top fragger for your team. I mean, Justin and Strebber are both very capable players, but when it comes down to those situations where they really need to come up with the big kills, those impact frags, which we talk about a lot, those are the guys that seem to do it time and time again. So yeah, I mean, you know, Strebber had a huge hold there, obviously. That 3K prevented the bomb plant, kind of gave Tempo Gaming a lighter buy. They weren't able to get as many nades as they wanted. If they got that bomb plant, maybe Kusta could have picked up an AWP instead of an AK, would have changed the tempo for the round. Still, though, Tempo's looking pretty good. It is a 4 versus 3, even though ZNF is down to 4 HP. He's doing what he needs to do here. He's an extra body on the field, and there you go. There's another kill coming in for Tempo. And all of a sudden, Justin, that man we were just talking about, he's got that FAMAS in hand. He's going to pick off the first one. If he can connect on ZNF, it's going to make it a 1v2. And he does find an AK as well. So this is more than manageable here, although he does not have a kit, so that could be the big piece of this puzzle.
Yeah, you'll find the first one on the ZNF, but a couple bullets too much, and they're able to trade him in the process. So Kusta follows up with a frag, and the first rifle round. Again, that's the potency of saving in that second round. If you get that first round plant, is a lot of times the CTs will, and they should have maybe read that a little bit better. I didn't look at the monetary situation post-buy in that round to see if Paradox could have upgraded a little bit further. It looks from their money situation now, maybe they could have. But that's basically the risk you're running, is you buy up those SMGs. If they're buying in that third round, the fact that you buy SMGs and then the next round you have to upgrade as well, it's actually very expensive for you. So some CTs will just try and get away with those SMGs, and we see completely bites them in the behind. The fact that they still have some running around as well. The fact that the positioning could have been a factor as well, and definitely probably was. But with the gear, it definitely helps out.
Yeah, I mean, they got 1,400 for losing the round, but they may have gotten, you know, a little bit of money. Like Mainline got that SMG kill, so that's an extra, what, $300? Or no, it's an extra $600, correct? Yes. So
yeah,
he got 2,000, so he was sitting at 1,750. So yeah, they still could have bought a little bit on top. There is a nice stack here in mid. That's Mainline and Ellie combining for the totem pole. They're going to pick off Anomaly. Mainline, I don't even think he put any damage out on that player before Ellie took him down. And that's that potency of those 5.7 pistols. It's a little hand cannon, way too many bullets. And when you get in close range, it can be very dangerous. And it's going to put Tempo on a bit of a scramble here. They're not really sure what they want to do. They put some presence toward B. They're actually going to rotate back towards A. And now it looks like they're going to go back towards B. And this is exactly what we talked about, that chess game, where you just kind of get in the head of your opponents and just force them to play that back and forth like ping pong style. And they're just walking into it here.
Yeah, they will find control of the bomb site with only 7 seconds left. So they need to get that bomb set. Kusa does so with only 26 HP. So very, very close. But interesting stuff as it looked like Kusa goes down. ZNF now, last one alive, finds Ellie. Needs to find Silent in main line as well. Time is definitely against the CTs, but Silent will clutch the round. Big one for him as he ended up with that 1 dig and then ended up with an AK. And clutched the round, and I believe that when Silent received that 1 dig from Truck, the call was made that it was going to be A, for sure. You can see that they only left a single player on B, so the fact that he gets that first frag and then they're able to do what they did, Paradox doing pretty good on that eco round, as they started off, I think, with a stack in the arch side of mid, I believe, and they had some pretty nice traps, so Paradox, definitely one of the things I've witnessed just watching them on Inferno. They like to do that kind of bait and play where, specifically early on in that B bomb site, Strebber and Justin, they were both kind of baiting for each other. One was shooting in the site, and the other one was close in that closet corner. So lots of nice play coming out, and Kusta already needed down to 57 in this round.
This is the round I'm interested in, though, with Tempo recently picking up AZK, the former star rifler for iBuy Power, as a coach. Sort of more of like an analyst, kind of watching them play and figuring out what they need to do. These are the rounds where strategy and, tactics really come into play. And I'd like to see, maybe that pistol round strategy we saw was a little bit of the work that he has put in with this team. I'd like to see what they're going to do here, as they're not going to be able to go for those set strategies when it comes down to just pistol armor buys. They got a couple Tech 9s and a P250 on Uber. There's 2-man hold on B right now, and they are stacked up towards the top of Banana. But they have to be careful. Justin right on the other side of the smoke, as is Trevor. Uber's going to spot him out, goes for some shots through, but doesn't connect. And we'll see what Tempo decides to do here, as that smoke's about to dissipate and give them the opportunity to take the site.
Yeah, looks like Kusta, yeah, they're going for it. Kusta leading into the bomb site. They haven't smoked off CT spawn. Kusta actually is going to run and gun, find Trevor. And they're getting the bomb plant at the front of site. Justin still alive at new bombs. He's going to send some spray through. Doesn't find a single player, though, so 4-on-4, as there's 3 very lit Ts, but at the moment difficult for those smokes actually really worked in Justin's favor, as he found that 1 frag. He goes down there after, but the fact that they just have to worry about him now allows maybe for a retake to come in, but a 4K Kusta is going nuts. Silent's going to have to come up big, and he's actually got a doable 2-on-1 here, as he's got a kit in hand. He finds the first frag. It's only Anomaly, and he's actually just going to straight up stick this. They comes around the corner. Justin doesn't realize. Wow, or rather Silent. What a 1 dig, but is he going to get it is the question. Oh, he does not get it. So close. But Tempo win the round. 4K from Kusta. What an MVP round for him.
I mean, that position he had after they had that bomb planted, just sitting on grill, waiting for those players to push up. He knew that they'd try to peek Banana based on the way they smoked the site and the information they got from the player who went down in sight. They kind of knew that they didn't really advance into the bomb site itself. They held passive positions. That was an excellent take, something that you see a lot of the top-tier teams do, is they smoke off the front of that site. Sometimes they drop a smoke on truck, and they basically just get a free bomb plant and all the position in the world to try and defend it for as long as possible. Great play from Tempo. It's exactly what we saw from them in their pistol round, where they had their very unique smoke take on B. And again, I have to wonder, is that analyst position pickup of AZK playing into this? He is hands down one of the best players in North American history, if not the best. More ESEA championships, I think, than any current player. So you have to wonder, is that part of it? Or did Tempo have this in them all along and we just hadn't seen it yet? Right now, it is going to be Paradox stacking over towards the B bomb site. Tempo making their way up towards A, creeping up slowly. The only man over there is Ellie. He's sitting in dark room right now. He's going to hear some footsteps. He's going to be able to give his team some information, but we'll see. Will ZNF be able to sniff this out and just take these players down as they push around from Banana? Whoa.
First frag to Justin as he takes off the head of ZNF. Now post-plant situation. The bomb sent. Justin with an AK in hand and looking to do maybe some more damage here as retake maybe a little bit more than they could chew, but they take down Anomaly, so another gun in their favor. They can get up into apartments and receive it, and they do, as that will be Ellie Now they're just going to be, working exits. Again, if they can keep them in the bomb site, the benefit for tempo is that being that they're all at full HP, you can see they just crowd up in the back of pit. You can actually survive this fairly easily, although the plant that they have, you can see, takes them down all very, very low. But with full HP, they get away, and that's going to be a nice way to do things, as Paradox had lined up exit frags pretty much left, right, and center if they did try to actually run out of the site.
Yeah, and they had already saved a decent amount of money by picking up 2 AKs. So if they could have picked up 1 or 2 more, I mean, that would have been devastating. You can talk all day about rounds, but money is a big part of the CT side. If you can take money out of the CT side's hands, it's just so much more expensive. You have to buy kits. The rifles cost more money. You absolutely need the smokes, and you kind of need the incendiaries anymore as well. So yeah, it's a harder side to play because of the money. So if you can break the money and do anything you can to cripple that economy, you're going to do it. So wise play from Tempo there. Playing a little bit risky, maybe potentially losing one of their own players, but not giving a rifle to Paradox. We'll see what happens here, as this is live round number 22, Paradox versus Tempo Gaming here on Inferno. I am Bach, with me is Sprawl. And this has been a really impressive match this far. We've seen some really good strategies from both teams. I'm kind of impressed with both teams. I can't wait to see what happens, how this turns out. What's going to happen? Are we going to go to 3 maps, or will this be a 2-0? It's very exciting to see such an even match from these two teams.
Yeah, really fun to watch right now. As Uber, he sent some bullets through the smoking banana, hence Mainline's current HP count, but it's pretty much the only action, as now the T's looking to take a little bit of top mid control, but you can see they're rotating a single man. That's going to be Kusta back to Banana, so it looks like they may go for some sort of rat play on B, being that they're 5-man ZNF still at Arches. And he is going to go for it, but he is going to get caught out by Strebber before he can make it into the Arches. So here we go, B-side play and Mainline Justin. They line them up. Now it's only Anomaly left. And he's going to try and salvage this, but Mainline's going to take him down. Beautiful B-hold from the Paradox lineup.
Yeah, clean sweep round as well. Not losing a single player. That's the round they needed. They need to stabilize their money. And you can see just how much that broke the money on the other side. Even though they've been doing pretty well on their T sides, they didn't really generate enough income yet to lose that round. So they're going to be stuck on Eco, and it's going to put Paradox in position to take the lead and put them at 12-11. Unless Tempo Gaming can do something impressive again on a pistol. They forced up and bought that Tech 9 armor buy. It was a pistol armor buy. Cost them a little bit more money. They did win the round, but only by a small margin. And then they won one more round before losing. So, there's so much at play with the money right now. And on the flip side, Paradox is looking pretty good, because if Paradox loses this, they can actually still buy, because they've actually been able to stabilize their money pretty well. So Paradox is looking pretty good to try and spread the gap here, as they already have taken 2 players off the board, Anomaly and Kusta, making it a 5 versus 3.
And I like the way Anomaly and Uber are trying to play apartments right now. Anomaly actually made it through the smoke in a bedroom, and Uber was still at the bottom of the stairs, and they just stayed very quiet. They knew Silent was there, hoping they could frag him, but hasn't worked out thus far. Hold that thought. Uber takes him down. So there we go. Does work out in their favor. It's going to be a 2v4, though. So this is going to be rough for them, but ZNF walking up through Arches. You should be very careful, as there's going to be a man to catch him out. That's Justin. Now Uber all alone at Boiler. He's got a dream of a round win, but it's going to be very difficult, as Mainline just takes him down, headshot through a wall. And it's going to be another Paradox round. 4 kept alive. Like we were saying, CT side, very expensive to buy up. They've got 3 AKs, which they salvaged from some rounds and actually make it 4. Yeah, a mistake in there, but nonetheless, they're able to continue to grow their economy. And the T's, that is not a happy time for their side of things.
No, and it's exactly what we talked about on the CP side. Kusta is an AWPer. He needs the AWP in his hand. He did a pretty good job with that M4 on the hold just a few rounds ago in that post-plant position, but he really needs to have the AWP, because he changes the way that Tempo can play the map. They haven't really been able to put it in his hands because they have no economic stability. They won round 3 after losing pistol and the second round. Lost round 4, won rounds 5 and 6, then lost the last 2. Their money just can't get balanced out enough for him to put that gun in his hands. So that big clean gun obviously could be, you live by the AWP, you die by the AWP, and you can see it right now. They are dying heavily. 3 players down already. Uber, Anomaly, and DNF. Only Mainland down for the CT side. Kusta is going to push around, get 1, but not an acceptable round there at all. That was a buy round, and they really kind of forced up. Their money wasn't that great. And you can see it's going to put Tempo back into an eco position. And as a result, you have to wonder, is this going to be the key to Paradox taking this map now? If they had taken that round, could have changed things. I thought that Tempo should have saved there instead of forcing up.
Yeah, interesting call from the T side. And now they are saving once again. But a little bit of historical information for you guys. Paradox has been in second place for our RGN tournaments. I believe it's 3 in a row now. So as much as Tempo wants to win out as well and win the tournament, I feel like Paradox just has a little bit more drive because they've come so close so many times. And I think out of the team pool, this is one of the ones where they definitely can. They're almost thought of, if I put Lunatic, Tempo, and Paradox, I would probably give Paradox the slight advantage coming through that fight. Hold that thought as Trevor Justin running down this B-side play. Kusta with 1 frag, but at this point, 1 frag is not going to do it for the T-side. They need to be winning rounds, or at least taking down 4 players to really hurt their economy. But right now, the CTs, they're in a beautiful situation.
Yeah, touching upon Paradox and Tempo, I guarantee you when people first saw the brackets, they would have thought Paradox was a heavy favorite. Tempo maybe to come from the lower bracket and make their way towards the grand finals, but I feel like Tempo didn't get as much respect as they maybe deserved. If you look at the strength of schedule, Paradox had better round scores. They actually had 102 rounds for, 58 against in all of their maps, which makes the average map score to 16-8. But the best team they played was Lunatic, and that was their only series that went to 3 maps. On the other side, Tempo has played some really good opponents, and they've done pretty handily. I mean, the average map score for them was 16-13, but they did have to beat Win Out and Wusa, who both play in ESCA Premier. So a little bit harder, a little bit stronger strength of schedule for Tempo. So I think that they didn't get as much respect coming into this game, and that's why the odds maybe shifted slightly in favor of Paradox, combined with the fact that Paradox is in that pro league. They have had multiple successful tournaments with us in the past. But again, Tempo, no slouches. So, I mean, even though it's 14-11, if Tempo can string some stuff together here, they could very well take this to overtime or potentially win the map.
And here we go, Tempo. One of their last chances, quite honestly, on this map, as they're going to be trying to take A. Ellie's going to find one Uber. He's going to find one, but Silent, pistol out, just goes running into the apartments. Takes down Anomaly. They're getting the bomb set right now. Uber on site, as well as Kusta. There are only 2 left as Ryu will get dropped. They take down Silent. So now it's a 2v3, but Trevor, pistol out. USP to the face. It's only Kusta behind the spammable box, and he tried to play an angle where he could potentially take down that player at Moto first. Flick back over the 2 at truck, but doesn't work out for him. Paradox in the 15th round, and I think one thing to note, like you were saying earlier, with AZK being brought into the equation here for Tempo Gaming, the longer I feel like he's around, the more effect it's going to take. I don't know how much. I wonder if that pistol round alone was one of the creations, or he was wanting them to do that, or what effect he's taken. But I think definitely as time moves forward, more and more effective is that move going to prove to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to have a little chat with Glowstick, the team owner for Tempo, and just ask him, what kind of input or effect AZK has had on the roster thus far. Look at this hold right now from Paradox. Multiple players in mid. They are just going very aggressive here, and it's going to work in their favor. They're going to pick up 3 quick frags, actually make that 4 ZNF last man standing. So Paradox going very risky here in the final round. ZNF is going to take down Justin from behind, so rogue-style assassination. But at this point, it's a 1 versus 3. You're down 4 rounds on that point, and there you go. Mainline cleaning it up. 16-11. Still, though, a score that I don't think a lot of people would have anticipated. A much closer game, maybe, than people expected. This could still go 3 maps.